Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's June 6th, 2017. Mainstream news today: man with hammer attacks officer in Paris. Yesterday, June 5th, 2017, while exposing the false flag London hoax over the weekend, June 3rd, a date I told people to mark on their calendars more than a month in advance and expect a terror hoax. While exposing that hoax further yesterday, I said this. Listen very carefully. I asked when we can expect the next Paris terror hoax based on what they were coding. Let me just go back. We'll just play this for about 30 seconds. That's all we need to listen to. Just yesterday, I uploaded this, June 5th, 2017, asking people when we can expect the next Paris false flag. We're going to talk about why it's coming today, one day later, June 6th, but first listen.
And as is always the case, as I've been educating about since 2013, if you decode these stories, the names of the attackers are always tributes to the date. It's clockwork. It's how the script is made, by the numbers. This is Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism. Again, Kabbalah, based in the belief that God created the world with language when God merged the letter with the number. They also say that Quran Butt is 27 years old. His name has connections to those numbers, his age. It makes me wonder, is there going to be another false flag in Paris again? We keep seeing them in the UK, Paris, the United States, the three super Masonic nations that share a lot of history together.
So there it is. You see it right on the screen. You heard what I was saying. I uploaded this just yesterday, June 5th, 2017. I've been here since 2013 exposing how the mainstream media is nothing but one propaganda story after the next. And it doesn't look like they're going to use this story to scare people the way they have with others. They've already moved it from the front page story to the side top story. But here is why this is coming today, exactly 47 days after the April 20th terror hoax, where it was also police officers attacked. As I continue to explain further, not only are these conducted by the numbers, but across the world, it is the police who are selling out the masses, who are playing the parts of the terrorists in these drills that are reported as real tragedies. Exactly what has happened in Paris today. So they said this man used a hammer, and this is what you need to know. In the language of Gematria, hammer sums to 58. The name of the new president in France, Emmanuel Macron, Gematria 58, just like the woman he ran against at the end, Marine Le Pen 58. And let me remind you, Donald Trump here in the U.S. is the winner of the 58th presidential election. January 20th, 2017, a date with 58 numerology happened to be the 58th presidential inauguration. They hired the 58-year-old Steve Ray for that day. Donald Trump announced he was running for president from his 58-story Trump Tower. Notice, Freemasonry 58, Secret Society 58, Rosicrucian 58. If you haven't seen my work on King James, who died at 58, he was a Freemason and a Rosicrucian, dead at age 58, 84 days before his 59th birthday. Talk more about that. But around that same period in time is when the colonization of America began. It's when the modern English language, now the language of the New World Order, rolled out. 58 is a very special number. Freemasonry's history is based in Solomon's Temple, 58. They call themselves craftsmen, 58. The history goes back to Jerusalem, 58. These people have built the English language, our calendar. Notice Gregorian, the calendar system we're on, 58, calendar 58. The Gregorian calendar comes from the Jesuits, the Masonic order within the Catholic Church. Right now they have the first Jesuit Pope, Pope Francis. Donald Trump, the winner of the 58th presidential election, also a Jesuit. One more quick point about hammer. It also has gematria of 104, like 10-4 message received. Matching Jerusalem, matching the date of establishment for the United States of America, July 4th, 1776, plus a whole lot more. Notice also that Emmanuel Macron and Donald J. Trump have matching gematria. This is the name Donald uses for his book titles. The Art of the Deal, his first book, also sums to 148. His 58-story Trump Tower, the name on the outside of the tower has gematria of 148, things we've talked about in the past, not arbitrary numbers. But here's what's more important. This is all masonry. The Freemason compass set at 47 degrees with the pole star at the top. The Freemasons have the 47th problem of Euclid about how to establish foundation for a structure. On April 20th, just before the selection, Hitler's birthday, there was a police officer's attacked in France. Now today, 47 days later, a policeman also attacked. Please check out that movie, Filth, about Freemasonry and police. Very important movie to watch. Very revealing. So policeman 47. 47 days later, another policeman attacked. Foundation equals 47. Framework 47. The Freemasons, again, have the 47th problem of Euclid about how to establish foundation for a structure using the North Star, which is called the pole star. Pole star has the gematria of 47, just like foundation and framework. Euclid's 47th problem. Euclid, mathematics, Freemasonry, building. The tropics of this earth, which measure the solstices, which measure time, are 47 degrees apart. France has gematria 47, a Masonic nation. As I was explaining yesterday, the red, white, and blue nations, those are stamps of masonry. At the same time, there are nations that don't have red, white, and blue flags that are also just as Masonic. But that red, white, and blue, that's a Masonic color ritual. These people are into symbolism and meaning behind things, meaning behind numbers, meaning behind colors, words. It's about knowledge. It's about acquiring knowledge. These people are using ancient knowledge to mock us on the daily with contrived news such as this. And it's the people in authority selling us out. Now notice, France 47, like authority. Washington, D.C. is constructed around 47. The streets of D.C. come to a 47-degree angle that point right at the White House. And look at this. A 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemason from France designed Washington, D.C. President 47, White House 47, Government 47. The name Trump 47. And again, a 47-degree point in roads at the White House. The reason the streets of D.C. are nonsensical, as they are in many other cities, also designed by Freemasons. This nation, built by Masonry. King James, the Rosicrucians, early Freemasonry. This was the movement that created the United States of America. It came from Europe. And before that, it came from the ancients. All of this knowledge taken from the way, way, way past. Don't forget, on the night of the selection in the U.S., Donald Trump was in the 47-story Midtown Hilton Hotel, symbolic. In the septenary and Chaldean ciphers, which are related ciphers, 95% of words that you type in will not have the same gematria. These are two related ciphers that I don't normally talk about, but just to make the point about DC, these ciphers, which are relevant, which I don't talk about typically, Washington, D.C. sums to the exact same thing, you know? And most words will not have the exact same gematria. And they both come to 47 in this cipher. Just goes to show how well thought out this gematria system is, how these other methods are relevant, worth studying. I just teach you enough, because look at what I show you. I mean, look at what I do on the daily. How often do I do this? I do this every single week. I do this practically every single day. I say, this is the way the news is scripted. Look for this. It's going to happen next. Boom. Next day. Paris. Terror hoax. By the exact same numbers I've taught about since video number 1. Typically, my face is on the screen, but my video maker keeps crashing today, so I thought maybe if I take off the video maker, or when it records me, I thought maybe the video wouldn't crash, but it still crashed already once. Had to pick it back up. So anyway, that's why the camera's not typically on me. Anyhow, back on point with France and the United States and Freemasonry. Ancient accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry equals 187. That's the official name for Scottish Rite of Freemasonry in North America. In Europe, there's an "and" in there, but there's a reason they've done this in North America, which has become essentially the Masons' military machine. That's what the United States of America is, a big killing machine. Bunch of slaves paying taxes so that the killing agenda can go on for the Zionist banker tyrants. But anyway, 187 is the Gematria. The headquarters of this is in Washington, D.C., named after George Washington, a 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemason. George Washington 187, just like Washington, D.C. Just like Society of Jesus, Donald Trump, the Pope, both Jesuits born 187 days apart on the calendar year. Trump's June 14th birthday to the Pope's December 17th, 187 days. Remember this year in Paris, France, on Hitler's birthday, they had the terror hoax with the police officer. That was 47 days ago. 47 days ago. Hitler released Mein Kampf on July 18th, 18/7. Donald Trump's convention began in Cleveland July 18th, 18/7, exactly 187 days before Inauguration Day, on the date with 58 numerology where they hired 58-year-old Steve Ray. Is it starting to make sense? Are you filling in the dots here? The point is to show you that we are living out year after year, day after day, scripted news, scripted reality. Yesterday, they gave us a story in the U.S. about a girl named Reality Winner. Told us that was her real name. So anyhow, last point to finish up here between the U.S. and France and Freemasonry. Freemasonry, a lot of their symbolism has to do with the structure of the human body, which is supposed to be, the same structure that the world takes on, the universe, however you want to call this thing that we live in. A lot of the ancients believe that we are made from the same thing the rest of the universe. That's why they say we're made from stardust. But anyway, we human beings have 33 vertebrae in our back, and 33 is that big number to Freemasonry. At the headquarters of Scottish Rite of Freemasonry in Washington, D.C., we were just talking about all the 187. This structure in D.C., their headquarters, has 33 pillars on the outside. So we humans have 33 vertebrae in our back. And just look at these words that are 33. Masonry, secrecy, person, people, society, order, all 33. The spine of the English-speaking keyboard, the home row, ASDFGHJKL. You type that out, it sums to 33, just like all of these words right here. All in the same method. The spine of the keyboard, 33. France happens to be home of the plus 33 dialing code. Each color makes up 33% of their flag, 33.3. If you've never seen my work on the Freemason Compass in 333, the establishment of Zionist Israel on the 333rd day of the year 1947, you got to check that out. Remember, Gematria is a Jewish practice. Masonry is based in Jewish history. Solomon's Temple, Jerusalem. France, the nation where you cannot speak out against Zionism, it is illegal. It comes with a jail, possible prison sentence. If I was making this video in France, I would be breaking the law. And that's what's wrong with law. All over the world, law is used to hold down man from the truth. Over here, you want to smoke a little marijuana? Could end you up in a prison cell. And we call ourselves free. Free has Gematria of 74, like Masonic, like holiday, like Independence Day. That number's 74. 74. 4th of July, 7-4, 4/7. Anyway, notice that vertebrae, which you have 33 of, sums to 147, like Freemason, like conspiracy, like 50 states, like 4th of July, like U.S. President, like President of the United States. There's 147 windows at the White House. Donald Trump, the comb-over, fired James Comey on his 147th day of being 56. Washington, D.C. also has the Gematria 56. But in light of 4th of July being 147, think about Bastille Day, which is July 14th or 14/7, a lot like 147. And down below, I will link the Gematria calculator. The gematrinator.com. At this calculator, you can make all these connections. You can verify that all of these things are 33 plus everything else I showed you. There's one more that I always forget to put up here. Americas. What they came over and colonized, these Masons. 147, North and South America. And don't overlook the 33 or the 57 or the 69. You know? Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, 57. United Nations doing a lot of their bidding for them. Their front. It was a 33-member vote that created the United Nations on the 333rd day of 1947. And I'll just show you this real quick. 47th problem of Euclid equals 333. This is about the Freemasons, their 47th problem about how to establish foundation. Think about how they established their Zionist Israel nation in the year 47 on the 333rd day. And from that day up to this day and to every day that passes that these people remain in power, this is how your world will be organized. This is how your news will be brought to you, you know? If you're not subscribed here, you really should be. You know, I don't know who else in the world since 2013 has been more on point. You know, called nearly every sports championship, proven how sports are fake, the news is fake, elections are fake, proved it all, and continue to call what will happen before it happens. The only reason I have so many critics and trolls in the comments is because my work is so on point. So many people on YouTube don't watch the videos. They just go straight to the comments to see what people are writing. That's a bad tactic. Watch the video. Create your own opinions. I mean, that's something people need to start doing. All of you who do that, who go and surf comments to get an opinion, that just shows what the essence of you is. You're someone who lets other people do your thinking for you. And I know that that is the epidemic of this society. People letting other people do their thinking for them. You know, I don't know anyone who's dumb enough to believe this story. Let me tell you a little story from September 11, 2001. This was a real story told on the news. We were told that planes crashed, 4 of them, 2 into buildings, 1 into the Pentagon, and 1 into a field. What all 4 of those crash sites had in common was they could not find a plane. They couldn't find a plane in the field in Pennsylvania. They couldn't find a plane at the Pentagon, and they couldn't find a plane or 2 planes in 2 towers in New York. But, and keep in mind they couldn't find any luggage or bodies, but they found terrorist passports, they found box cutter knives, and they even reported that they found cloth turbans. But they didn't find anybody else's bodies or luggage or the planes. Now, we were told that as the news. That's the news. And people believe that. You know why? Because when people watch the news, they let the news do their thinking for them. They don't even think about it. They don't even question it. They are beholden to this authority. And I've been asking myself since I was 18 years old. That's how old I was when September 11th happened. I've been asking, why are people so, you know, why is it like there's a magical spell over the people? Why is it that people can't see through these obvious lies? They're telling you a man in a cave in Afghanistan took down a nation that spends trillions of dollars in military. Really? You know, a thinking person cannot accept these stories. A thoughtless person can. A believer can. But not a thinker. So don't ever forget what my work's about. I hate when people leave the comment, I'm starting to believe you. What? There's no belief here. I don't teach belief. I don't teach follow me. What I say is pay attention to what I'm teaching you and apply this knowledge. Because the day you apply it, you're going to start doing the same things I'm doing. You know? I had the will when I was 18, when September 11th happened, to get to the bottom of this, because I saw through it all. I saw through it all. Remember that man in the cave? Osama bin Laden, 47-110. Buildings 1 and 2 were 110 stories tall. Building 7 that fell 8 hours later, 47 floors tall. Each floor 47,000 square feet. It was the Solomon Brothers building. Solomon's Temple, Freemasonry. You know? You know? And for anyone who's saying, you know, oh yeah, but you're doing 4 methods of gematria. Remember, forever I just did 2. I learned about the other half. All of these are interrelated. And I mean, how do you guys dismiss things like this? Gematria is geometry within language. Boom. Boom. And here, I already forgot the word, but I just learned this last night. I was just putting some final touches on my book. I'm getting near the end, and I just found out something so cool that I didn't know all this time. There is a plural word for gematria. I did not know there was a plural for gematria. I think you pronounce it gematrio. Gematrio. What's a trip is gematrio, the plural, has some overlap with geometry. Do you think that's a coincidence? Do you think it's a coincidence? Maybe you think this is a coincidence too. Holy Bible, 4545. You know how old King James was when the Bible was made in his honor? Do you know how old he was? He was 45. Remember, King James became a Freemason at age 35, did old King James. And he died 23 years later at 58. You see that? King 23, King James 35. Again, he was a Rosicrucian, Freemasonry, both 58. Same time that the colonizing of America as an English-speaking nation with these numbers coded all over it was created. Also, when you come to this cipher, if you're going to check one more box, please do the single reduction. This is the next method you would want to learn in the order of learning these methods. The single reduction opens up a lot of things that are relevant, such as United States is 58 this way. So is chessboard. The chessboard pattern in Masonic lodges comes from Solomon's Temple, which is, again, 58, just like Herod's temple, the temple built after it, in its likeness. But there it is, Truth Seeker. Another prediction. Correct. Must be number 1,000 at least. Until next time.